Silly metal Mickey voices fell out of fashion, but enjoyed a comeback in the 90s thanks to the franche.
I like Air's use of vocoders. I think that's some modern music that uses the technique well. I mean, sometimes it's used in a kind of cod way, you know, you're almost not making a proper song, you're referring purely in a pastiche sense to stuff that's gone before. But I think they straddle the divide there and get it right.
I really like the use of them at the minute. There's loads, you know, I like vocoders, they're funny.
It's interesting because, you know, you get Cher, you know, you know, in her voice, and Posh Spice, you know, Posh Spice's latest, you know, her thing with...
Out of My Mind.
Yeah, that's a perfect example of what I'm just about to say, because now, you know, the modern day, what they're using now, although it's not, it sounds a bit like a vocoder, and you go, what's they doing on there? And actually, in fact, is a program you can record onto your hard drive, you know, record Posh Spice's voice, and you see it all up on your computer, and you put it through this thing called a pitch corrector. So if you're not very good at singing or whatever, you set whatever track, you know, whatever pitch, what key the song is in, and it goes along, listens to that particular audio track, and then corrects it. Now, but what people have done, which is what they've done with her, I'm not saying she can't sing or anything like that. Before I get
no, it's an effect. No, you're talking about the effect of it.
Around and kicking me. I'm saying, yeah, it's the effect of it. Which, if you go a bit crazy with it, or tell it
if you turn all the knobs up, if you turn all the knobs up to full, basically, it has an effect like a vocoder, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, they got there in the end, didn't they? In the 21st century, vocoders are still with us, unlike Scurvy or Cadbury's Rum and Raisin, who aren't.
In 1970, the idea of hearing these robot voices, like the sort of the cantina music from Star Wars, that's like, wow, it's so futuristic. But if you're looking back now, the idea of what we in 1970 thought the future was going to be like, with us all with our jetpacks and our wristwatch TVs, is so funny that it is in itself quite charming.
Yeah, but and a lot of the records that get over now, particularly the kind of Daft Punk school of things, harks back to that, and that's why it's charming, and that's why it's got an appeal of its own.
Because we're retro.
Yeah, well, that kind of thing, you know, because we're actually stumped for an idea of what the future's going to sound like now. It's gone beyond what anybody can predict.
People like vocoder sounds, they like Moog sounds. They no longer want the future. We just want cutting edge nostalgia.
Sounds might have moved on. Drum sounds might have moved on. This might be out of date a bit, but the human voice is still pretty much the same. And we're still sitting around asking ourselves, how can we make this vocal sound more interesting? How can we blend it into the electronic sounds? The vocoder, in its broader sense, which is mixing and mutating sounds together, is a very powerful technique. And I've heard examples of drum beats vocoded with human voices, so you get a kind of singing, talking drum in an electronic sense that, you know, blow your mind. So there's still a lot of mileage there.
Oh.